Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP, but there's so much going on around crypto. I'm going to talk a little bit about a lot of things, and I'm also going to make you think. I'm going to give you my opinion on a few things in today's video. I want to know what your opinions are. Put it in the comments section down below. So let's get started. Crypto crackdown to intensify as 5 U.S. agencies join hands to form the Anti-Crypto Crime Task Force. In an announcement on June 20th, the Homeland Security's Investigations, Internal Revenue Services, Office for U.S. Attorneys, Drug Enforcement Administration, and the Postal Inspection Services came together to form a new task force. Labeled as the Darknet Marketplace and Digital Currency Crimes Task Force, the team will focus on bringing an end to darknet drug vendors and cryptocurrency-enabled crimes. With the advent of cryptocurrencies, crime took a more sophisticated turn in technology-wise, making it harder to track and end such criminals. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to see drug activity tied to crypto, and if there is crime, sure, crack down on crime. But at the same time, they're trying to crack down on crypto. And if you're going to do that, why not crack down on the US dollar? Because the US dollar is tied to drug dealing and money laundering. And while they're at it, maybe take a good look at the southern border, where illegal drugs are crossing that border on a daily basis. But the reason they talk about crypto is because it gets headlines. You know, they want retail out of crypto no matter what. And how do you shake out retail investors? With articles like this, oh no, they're going to crack down even more on crypto. I better get out while I still can. But strong hands will always hold through anything. Another major institution is entering the race for approval to list a spot Bitcoin ETF. Wisdom Tree is the next one. Then there's BlackRock and Invesco US also filed an application for spot Bitcoin ETF. Just in, asset manager Valkyrie officially files for spot Bitcoin ETF. Now this is what I'm going to give you my opinion on. Because right now, Bitcoin maxis, they're all up in arms. Go all in on Bitcoin right now. And I think this is going to end in catastrophe. Because I think this is happening right now for a reason. There's a couple theories on this that I have. Number one, think about it. CBDCs are going live all around the world. And what's the biggest challenge to CBDCs? Bitcoin. Even maxis will tell you, buy Bitcoin if you want to keep your freedom. But what happens when BlackRock controls all the Bitcoin? Then you got to look at it like this as well. You had Gary Gensler talking about accredited investors. And accredited investor has to hold $10 million in assets. That's what he's pushing for. So in the future, if you want to buy into crypto, you have to go through an accredited investor. Most likely, you'll be buying your crypto from BlackRock in the future. In other words, what I'm saying is BlackRock looks like they're setting up to take control of the entire crypto space. And nobody should want to see this happen. This is also coming at a time where Coinbase and Binance is tied up in an SEC lawsuit. I don't like the idea of this at all, and I think it's going to be catastrophic in the end. And I even said this around XRP. You know, I don't want to see that escrow get put out into the market. Why? Because the whales would buy up all that escrow and they would control the market going forward. I see the same thing happening here. But what's your opinion on this? And keep in mind, BlackRock is an evil entity and it's tied to the World Economic Forum and the Great Reset agenda. BlackRock gets a $500 billion deal to rebuild the Ukraine. What a spontaneous and shocking coincidence. BlackRock and JP Morgan Chase are reportedly aiding the Ukrainian government in setting up a reconstruction bank that could see rebuilding projects being heavily invested in by private entities. The Financial Times noted that it would cost the Ukraine roughly $411 billion to rebuild their country amid the onslaught of attacks by Russia. But the cost is continuing to increase. Now, why would they even be talking about rebuilding right now? Remember, this war is still going on. That's why we have to continue sending money to the Ukraine. And how much of our tax dollars do you think is going to end up in this reconstruction bank? I don't like this either, but you know why BlackRock and JP Morgan Chase are involved in this? Because they control the politicians. Larry Fink, BlackRock recruiter, admits they run the world and buy politicians. They also buy global companies and then dictate policy. See woke. And you know, they are also tied into all the chaos that we see happening in our major cities with all that Soros money as well. But again, when you could buy the politicians, you know how this crypto crackdown is going to play out in the end. So maybe that's why BlackRock is all of a sudden getting involved more and more with crypto. So Fed Chair Jerome Powell sees stablecoins as a form of money. So he's finally caught up. He now sees it as a form of money as well. But he's going pro-crypto all of a sudden. Take a listen to this.
Crypto and digital assets in the U.S. has got a market cap of around $1.1 trillion right now. It's been there for a bit. Do you acknowledge that this asset class has staying power in the U.S. economy?
It appears to have some staying power. Of course.
So he sees crypto having staying power in the U.S. This is the same guy that last year says crypto has no value and it would most likely disappear in the future. But why is he pro-crypto now? Because BlackRock is getting more involved with crypto. That's my thought on that. Jerome Powell says the Fed will not support CBDC for individuals. Now, here's what I see playing out here. He's saying that now so FedNow could continue on. Later, FedNow will morph into a CBDC through Executive Order 14067 and an emergency situation that will happen at some point. Again, anytime the Fed talks, he talks magical numbers and he absolutely knows exactly what he's pushing for, and that's a CBDC. U.S. House Committee to vote on crypto stablecoin legislation in July. So it looks like July could possibly be a very good month for crypto. But every country is talking about regulations around stablecoins because they're going to be needed in the future inside that new financial system. House Financial Service Committee Chair Patrick McHenry told his panel this morning that he plans to hold a session on debating, changing, and likely advancing legislation that would create a more distinct pathway for digital assets to transition from security investments to commodities. Now that's what we want to see happen as XRP investors. But again, it's going to take a little bit of time, but July could be a very good month. Kaiser says Ripple SEC lawsuit aimed at killing XRP. It was never about law. And believe it or not, Johnny Deaton actually agreed with him. In an interesting development, crypto law founder Johnny Deaton agreed with Kaiser in one of his assertions about XRP. As reported earlier, the Bitcoin proponent noted that XRP enthusiasts are yet to understand that the United States law is not crypto's problem. He pointed out that the SEC is bent on destroying all competitions on behalf of its friends. And that's what Gary's doing. He's looking out for the big banks and not the retail investor. And even going forward, I always want you to keep in mind that Ripple can lose to the SEC. Not saying that I can see that playing out. I honestly believe Ripple will win in the end. But you got to prepare yourself for the worst when you're a crypto investor. And if Ripple does lose, it doesn't mean it's the end of XRP. It means you need to keep buying XRP because what will come next is going to be the greatest event ever to happen for XRP investors. Because at some point, XRP will get the green light, even inside the United States. That's why I point out how Ripple is working with the Fed. And I think they've been working with the Fed since all the way back in 2017, or maybe even before then. You know, everything I think is going on right now is happening for a reason. Indonesia fuels crypto market, legalizes Ripple's XRP and 500 more cryptocurrencies. The Indonesian cryptocurrency market received a massive boost recently when the government made a historic announcement. Ripple's XRP, along with 500 other digital assets, has been granted official legal trading status. This is a significant step, given that XRP and several other tokens are recognized as securities by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. In one fell swoop, the nation has not only embraced the digital revolution, but has also paved the way for an exciting era of crypto adoption. That's very big news. Modular, a Ripple user, has expanded into Spain and France. Regulatory and branch registration approvals with central banks, Banque de France and Banco de España, allows the embedded payments leader to add a layer of specific localization in these markets. So you see, even Ripple's partners are out there advancing and growing at the same time. This says that the tokenization of money and assets has some potential. The Bank for International Settlements put out a report Tuesday arguing that commercial banks tokenizing their customers' deposits could revolutionize the global financial system. But for that to happen, BIS said that DeFi projects need to realize that actively whaling themselves off the rest of the financial system, i.e. central banks and commercial banks, isn't a good strategy. Not only is crypto self-referential with little contact with the real world, it also lacks the anchor of the trust and money provided by the central bank. BIS wrote in a report, while stablecoins have mushroomed to fill this vacuum by mimicking central bank money, the implosion of the crypto universe in the past year shows that there is no substitute for the real thing. Central bank money and settlement finality that it brings is a much firmer foundation for tokenization, the report continued. So what they're talking about is stablecoins being realized as money. But even if you see stablecoins utilized through banking institutions, that money has to move cross borders. Yet again, XRP will be tied in no matter what. And we know the BIS already likes XRP. They've mentioned it multiple times in the past. XRP's swift settlement and cost-effectiveness revolutionize international transactions. XRP's efficient consensus protocol makes it the most cost-effective solution for cross-border payments. And that's what you always got to remember. You're invested in the greatest cryptocurrency ever created for cross-border payments. It's going to be utilized all throughout the world. That's why I tell you, prepare yourself for if Ripple loses the case. Prepare yourself now for that and continue holding. And then once it happens, if it happens, buy up as much as you possibly can, because this market will turn around very quick once XRP is given the green light and all the weak hands are out of crypto. And again, maybe that's what BlackRock is setting up for. Maybe in the future, they want to be able to be the only on-off ramps for crypto as a whole. Not just Bitcoin, but all of crypto. Because BlackRock coming in now, I don't like it. And I don't like these other big institutions coming at the same time. Because it doesn't look right. That's my opinion. And that's what makes me think the way I'm thinking around this. But again, maybe some of you can enlighten me. Put it in the comment section down below. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.